lies about is just so trivial and stupid. It's like, if you're going to lie about stupid shit...
What's he lying about?
Oh my God, man, I don't have time. Just look at everything this guy says. It's just like, none of it is true. It's
what? Give me an example.
You know, we could just pull up his Twitter and go through non-stop stuff.
Oh, do that. Pull up one. Okay, this is an interesting clip that's sort of like the former clip was a segue into this one, because the former clip had the two classical libtards in there. And this guy claims to be a registered Republican. But he's a hardcore never Trumper. So he he kind of mirrors a lot of the things that the liberals would say. Some of his beliefs are just so... I actually kind of believe that maybe this guy was just pulling my leg. He was a shill. That maybe he wasn't a conservative or Republican, but just trying to put me on. I know, you tell me what you think. But he was certainly, for the most part, full of shit. I think we could all agree on that. So anyway, you know what you do with these things. If you like it, you like it. If you care, you share it. If you can contribute. And I'll see you on the flip end of this one.
What is the thought process behind that, if you don't mind me asking?
It's called a sense of humor. It's something that liberals don't have anymore.
True. But like hitting a woman, why? How's that funny?
Well,
I'm a registered Republican.
Yeah, that's.
I'm an educated white male.
Yeah, that's basically Antifa. It's a Hillary supporter, Bernie. Love Trump's hate, how they attack,
It's just so divided. It's sad that it's. And I agree with you. The political correctness has gotten out of control, but it's like the pendulum has just swung too far, and it's sad to see the degradation of the highest held office in the world. Kind of come down to this, like, you're thinking it's cool to tell people to fuck you and hit women and...
Have you seen the cartoons from like 100 years ago?
Oh, that was not right either, and we have to move past those times. And that doesn't make it right either.
This is all subjective. You saying what's right and what isn't is subjective. There are people you're in the minority. Most of the people that come by here and find this humorous, they find it, different things. Some of them find it what you find. So it spreads all over the place. So you don't have a stamp on what is right and what is wrong.
Yes and no. True. A lot of stuff there, it is subjective, but there is some baseline stuff in how you treat people with respect. I think if you don't treat someone with respect, that's wrong. No matter however you want to cut it, it's wrong. Like, you and I have a civil conversation. We can agree to disagree, but I'm going to respect you. Yeah. If I chose not to respect you and started pushing you, that would be wrong.
Yeah.
So there are some things that are clearly defined binarily right and wrong.
Yes.
That's all I'm saying. So I think we just have
political satirical cartooning. You have a broad brush with that, because then you can go all over the place.
Yeah, and those are two different things. It's shameful to me the rhetoric that comes out of the White House now. It's not about politics. It's just about...
I don't think he isn't, or what's coming out of the White House is doing anything more but mirroring what's already out there. I mean, you've got some absolute insanity
on both sides there. Antifa on one side, and then the white supremacists on the other. I mean, it's...
Yeah, but the white supremacists you could put in the entire country and fill up a school auditorium. Antifa's in every single city. You've got organizations like Soros
backing up entire organizations to go ahead and create division. So, you can put all the white supremacists in one school auditorium.
Trump's creating divisions too. I mean, that's what he breeds on dividing and conquering.
I don't think that's true.
Well, again, we can agree to disagree on that one.
I don't believe that's true at all.
He's not a unifier.
I believe the divisions were already there. He's pointing them out. Now, if that,
He's pointing them out for political gain.
Well, why wouldn't you point them out for political gain? I mean, the idea is to defeat your enemy.
I genuinely hope it's not another 4 years of him, because the pendulum swung too far with Obama. Now we want Trump, and it's just like the stuff is just so toxic now. It's like you can't even.
It needs to get more toxic. We need to really. Matter of fact, he's not going far enough.
What would he need to do?
That swamp is deep, and it needs to be drained.
True. So
I've talked to people,
and I agree with you on that. But that's not a Republican or a Democrat specifically. It's a both party.
Well, indeed, it is.
How is this? So if he's going to clear the swamp, how then does he have the G7 summit at the rally? I mean, is that not this? But is that not the swamp at its finest?
No, I don't think. I think that is a minor. It's an anthill.
Okay, so how about this? Jared Kushner, who has no political experience, holding these, being able in getting these national clears. How's that not swampish? I mean, so I understand that he was trying to push swamp out.
And I say, because of the swamp, who do you trust? I mean, when you have enemies inside the State Department and holdovers from Obama and holdovers in the deep state, you have to figure out who you can trust.
True.
So you have to pick up people you can trust on.
True. But I don't think he's done anything to
Do you ladies need any help?
I'm just listening to you guys.
Okay.
I don't think he's done anything to drain the swamp. I think, if anything, he's just incited it more with personal.
Well, he hasn't even drained the swamp yet because, again, there's a lot of bureaucrats. Well, because there's a lot of bureaucrats holding them up. I mean, I'm more impatient than anybody you can imagine. I mean, they stopped the IG report from coming out again. It's supposed to come out yesterday. Mm-hmm. So it's put off to the end of the month. To me, I'm chomping at the bit. So let's get this thing going.
Let me ask you one question, Ron. Don't you think it's dangerous that Trump is creating rhetoric in which if you don't believe in what he says and the message he puts forth, that you're lying, and the only way to find the truth is to come through him? That sounds a lot like what is preached in the Bible.
I don't believe it's...
Well, I mean, look at this here. So this says they lie. So this means everything. Well, at least you put Fox News. So I'll give you that, because to me, I think the media has a fine line between holding politicians accountable, uncovering the truth, and putting forth rhetoric that is going to be counter to what is productive.
I don't think a damn thing we hear in the media or entertainment or a lot of different venues has anything to do with the truth. I think it's pure propaganda and lies. I think if the real truth were known, there would be a revolution before the sun hit the ground.
I'm not disagreeing there, but I think Trump has created a thing where it's just he has distorted the truth or any sense of the truth so far. It's like if you don't believe what he says, his famous thing is, well, if it's counter to what I believe, it's a lie. It's fake news. It doesn't exist. It's not real. And it's like, that's not healthy.
I don't see that to be true at all. Matter of fact, again, he's pointing out the lies. That's all he's doing.
Do you think Trump lies?
Only through omission, in the sense that there are some things he holds back. You understand, my understanding of Trump from a great deal comes from the people I've talked to that work with him.
Okay. Do you think Trump lies on a regular basis?
Well, I mean, does anybody?
I'm not the president of the United States of America. You can't compare the two.
There's a thing about being in that position is how much. Let me give you an example. The truth about 9/11.
You're preaching the choir here.
Yeah, all right. Now, the day after 9/11, they did an interview with Trump. Mm-hmm. And he said, look, I build buildings in New York. They don't come down like that. And then when he was running...
Did he also say that he saw Muslims doing it, or that Muslims were cheering in New Jersey?
They were, but they were.
We'll slide that one under the rug, but yes, continue.
Well, he also said while he was running, he said, and this is a quote, "You elect me president, you will find out who really brought down the Twin Towers."
Okay.
All right. Now, with truth like that, huge I mean, you got
I'm
to.
a firm believer 9/11 was not from Al Qaeda. I make people very uncomfortable.
So what would happen? I mean, look how they crucify him now when he comes out and just says some things that are a little off base.
Well, but it's just because what he lies about is just so trivial and stupid. It's like if you're going to lie about stupid shit.
What's he lying about?
Oh my God, man, I don't have time. Just look at everything this guy says. It's just like none of it is true. It's
what? Give me an example.
We could just pull up his Twitter and go through non-stop stuff.
Yeah, do that. Pull up one.
I'm not. Listen, here's the thing. I'm not going to change your mind on a few Twitter tweets. If you seem educated, you seem like you pay attention, which I will give you credit because there are many people who don't take the time to figure out what's going on.
I get dressed up like this and come out here with this crap. I better know what I'm talking about.
Well, I would hope so, but it doesn't mean you should. So
yeah.
So in today's world, you don't know that. So I'm going to run. I will respectfully agree to disagree with you. Can we agree on that?
Oh yeah.
And can we not agree that we need more of that?
That's what I'm out here for.
Okay.
This is exactly what I'm trying to do, is gain this kind of rapport, so we aren't yelling at one another, that we can come around and talk enough to figure out, well, where are our differences, where can we come to a middle ground.
One thing I'm going to leave you with, global warming is true. It's in the science.
It's not man-made global warming. Because I'm going to give you this. I helped start the Institute for Environmental Alternatives with Professor Ron Cohn in 1971. So I forgot more about it than most people. I will leave you with this. Look up, because both sides are lying to us. I'm going to leave you with this. Look up the history of weather and climate modification programs, and you'll see them going back to 1891. We, indeed, in 54, Eisenhower started the Department of Weather and Climate Modification. Very intelligent of you. Ben Livingston, Lieutenant Ben Livingston, took that program, became known as the father of weather weapons. We used them in Vietnam from 68 to 72. When that was leaked out, the UN passed the UN Weather Weapons Treaty banning the use of weather weapons. We don't ban things we don't have. Mm-hmm. China has bragged about using weather modification programs. Kennedy said in 64, before the UN, we use today's technology to control the weather. That's a quote. In 1997, a leaked Air Force document, Weather is a force multiplier, controlling the weather by 2025. 1,500 pages of documentation you can read in PDF form that shows you how they do it.
Yeah.
So with this in mind, I want to ask you this question. When you get on and see all this documentation, reams of it, going back all this, right? How come we never hear about it in any climate change program, any conference, and how come we've never seen a skeptic and a believer on stage talking about this?
Very good questions.
Thank you.
I mean, I'm not
Look it
I'm not
up.
saying you're,
Both sides are lying to us because they've been controlling the weather for a long time.
We have to, and I agree with what
and the reason they bring up this bullshit about the global warming, when they screw up, then they can turn around and blame us and see it's your fault. You got a big carbon footprint. It's your fault. We have to lower your standard of living.
But we have to acknowledge that man's prevalence on Earth is having some impact.
We pollute, but we have nothing to do with the Earth's global warming. Okay. Nothing.
Well,
see that big yellow thing in the sky? That has everything to do with it.
I think it's the single greatest threat to our generation.
Okay. But well, we'll agree to disagree there. As I said,
I'm going to leave you with that.
Look up what I just said. The history of climate and weather modification programs. Look it up.
God bless you, sir.
He has.
So, was I wrong? Was this guy full of shit or what? I mean, I know there are conservatives out there, or some Republicans that actually believe in this global warming bullshit, but it's like hen's teeth. You don't find too many of them. And that's why I'm highly suspicious of this guy. So, I don't know. Let me know what you think. I think he's full of shit. I think he was pulling my leg. I think he's actually, if anything, he's Mitt Romney's son. The son of Mitt Romney, right? Okay, that's what we call this clip. All right, thanks for stopping by, and see you on the streets. Remember to pray for me out there. I am praying for you.